at the dish. Tate batting .667, over a 700 on base percentage, and he's just been a hard out. Not only is he a defensive specialist, but this year he's really gone to work at putting the ball where defenders aren't. Here's the first pitch, and that one's going to be foul back to the right side, out of play. Wind lying still right now. Shadows starting to creep up on from behind the plate, about halfway to the mound. There's a pitch inside that's going to miss for a ball and a strike. Just getting started here from Lake Hamilton. Arkadelphia versus the Lake Hamilton Wolves. Starting to become kind of a pretty afternoon. A few jet streaks across the blue sky, but a little bit of sunshine we hadn't seen much of today. There's a shot that's going to get foul and out of play. Ball and 2 strikes now to the Badger shortstop. Brent Davis, don't have stats or height and weight, but looks to be about 5'10", 5'11", maybe 165, 70 pounds. Good looking left-hander. Arkadelphia in the all new grays today. There's a ball. Looked like, I couldn't tell. The umpire sounded like he hollered strike, but no hand movement, so it's just a loud ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thought it should be full, and it was. There's a pitch taken down and low, and once again, Tate Goodrum's on base, and Arkadelphia with its leadoff base runner again, and for the 3rd time in 3 ball games, Tate Goodrum has gotten on base to lead the game off. Win Pentecost now for Arkadelphia. Pentecost, the senior senior third baseman. And he'll step in from the right side. There's a pop-up out in center field. The center fielder making his way to his left, the right fielder to his right. He's going to make the play. Hangs up there in the cold sky, just long enough for the right fielder to get over and make the play. And so we've got 1 down now, and Trip Campbell makes his way to the left side for Arkadelphia. Campbell batting .400 on the year, .625 on base. He's got a couple of hits to start the year, a single, a double. Tripp always going to be dangerous with the bat. Pitched a whale of a game, as we talked about earlier last week at the Clark County Diamond Classic. 11 strikeouts for Tripp in a 13-0 shutout, no-hit performance by the left-handed junior. First ball is foul back out of play to the screen. No balls and a strike. Away from first is Goodrum. He reached on a walk. 1 down now, no score. Top of the first here at Lake Hamilton. There's another foul ball off to the left. And the Lake Hamilton left-hander has some movement to a left-hander that fades away from him in the box, and that's trying to get the left-handed hitter. That one catches the black on the left side. Good, strong pitch there that gets Campbell down on 3 pitches. So 2 down now. The runner still at first is Goodrum, and now yet to find his first base hit of the year, but he's been hit twice. Led the team in hit by pitch last year, and he's well on his way to doing it again this year, is Tucker Johnson. Another senior first baseman. Johnson's going to pop one up, and the catcher is going to keep it behind just outside of the foul line for the 3rd out. So Arkadelphia, after reaching on with his first base runner of the game, leaves him stranded there, and Arkadelphia goes down in the top of the 1st. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Arkadelphia Badger Baseball being brought to you today from Lake Hamilton High School. We're going to keep it here as we'll talk about the starting lineup here in the field for Arkadelphia. Pretty much been the same all 3 games. Arkadelphia not having the defensive trouble, really. It's just kind of all been about pitching and hitting. And as for the 3rd time in as many games, the lineup will look the same, except for some pitching changes, and that's going to be the same 9 players. Left to right in the infields. Win Pentecost, Tate Goodrum at short. Ashton Cobb at second. At first, for his 2nd year of starting over at first, is Tucker Johnson. Left field for his 2nd year out there is Jarrett Bell. Center field, all-conference selection, is a sophomore. Now he's leading the team as a junior in pitching, and that's Trip Campbell. And then one of our other pitchers that's going to see starting rotation is out in right field today, and that's Donovan Witten. Your battery consists of 2nd-year catcher behind the plate, sophomore Zane Hill, and Carter Babb getting his 2nd start of the young season for Arkadelphia. Babb couldn't quite find the zone early in the year, and he's been chomping at the bit to get a chance to redeem himself. So the junior left-hander will get a chance to do that just now. As we'll see the bottom of the 1st. And Ethan Brock, left fielder, number 22. He's going to stand in from the right side. The all-white uniforms today for the home team. Got the maroon sleeves. And there's a bunt pulled down, just fouled down the left 3rd base line. Crashing in there was 3rd baseman Pentecost, and over from the mound was Babb, but ball pushed just too far left. Come back and go at it again. Brock will be followed up by Cohen Manley and Dylan Horton in the hole. Goes Jeremy Wiegand. He's got his Matt. Not Jeremy. I don't know where I come up with Jeremy. Matt Wiegand. He's got his Wolfpack fired up down there. Got some Arkadelphia connection in that clubhouse for the Wolves. Whit Jones, an assistant coach. Whit wasn't a Badger, but his dad was. His dad was a Badger, not only a Badger player, but a Badger coach. Scott Jones. Got a chance to visit with Whit before the ball game, and looks like he's got a good team out there, and he's excited about playing tonight. Quite an athlete himself. Malvern Leopard during his high school playing days, and later a mule rider and ready in his college career, now finding a home here at Lake Hamilton. Ball and 2 strikes as Babb's ahead of Brock, Brock here in the bottom of the 1st. No score. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. It hits the dirt and rolls away. It's going to be hard to make the play, but he does. Coming up and making a nice play is Zane Hill. That ball just kept rolling down the right side. Dropped 3rd strike. The reason it was a strike was great pitch there by Babb. Man, thing fell off the table, and Brock couldn't lay off. And I believe that young Babb's off to a better start than he was this time last week. No, he needed that little vote of confidence there. From the left side, check swing. That's Cohen Manley. He's the first baseman. Babb did not get the call. Wanted the appeal. No dice. There's a ball up and inside. Babb's found some extra velocity this year. Had a little bit of a growth spurt. Got some extra velocity, a little extra snap on that pitch. Obviously, being a left-hander, he's got a little different look than most. of these kids in high school baseball are looking at. There's a swing and a miss. He took something off of that one, and Manley was just a little out in front. And so Fab wanting a new baseball. That one's been scuffed a little bit, hitting the dirt. That's what he wants it to do. Zane Hill will earn his keep back there tonight with a lefty that throws a moving pitch. He's going to have his work cut out for him, but doing a great job so far. Here's the pitch. There's a shot into left center field. It's going to be tracked down, and moving to his right and making the catch is Trip Campbell. And so 2 down now. Arkadelphia looking good so far. Dylan Horton now, the catcher. Horton, a big, tall drink of water. Horton, a offensive lineman in the fall, and this fall he'll be attending Ouachita Baptist University in Arkansas. And he looks like an offensive lineman. And he hits like one, too. There's one that's going to find the left side, up and across the diamond. Nice play is Tate Goodrum. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why that young man is all conference and why he'll be a college baseball player this time next year. Tate Goodrum deep in the hole to the right side. And if it had been anybody but an offensive lineman, he may not have made the play, but he took advantage of the situation, and the Badgers are 3 up and 3 down here in the bottom of the first. We are scoreless from Lake Hamilton. Arkadelphia and the Wolves. We're coming back for the top of the second. We'll be back after this.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 140,000 participants here in Arkansas who take part in high school sports or activities.
All right, so we're back here in the top of the second. Jarrett Bell will lead off the top of the second. Arkadelphia left a runner stranded in the top of the first. Tate Goodrum made his way on. Witten and Babb will follow Bell to the plate, and here's JB. He's still looking for his first base hit of the young season. Been hitting the ball hard, just right at the defenders, and only struck out once on the year. He's walked a couple of times. Scored a run, been thrown out at home. Been on the bases quite a bit, just still looking for that first base hit. Ball one gets back to the screen. Here's Bell. And he's going to find this one going out into right field. Drifting foul and caught out there by the right fielder. And so Bell keeps will not see his first base hit of this game, as the right fielder and first baseman, second baseman, all going out there, and the right fielder able to make the play in foul territory. Right fielder Witten now, he's going to make his first at bat of the day. Witten leading the team in average. Actually has an over 800 on base percentage. So DeWitt finding his way on base just about every time he's seen the plate. And there's a called strike for strike one. Witten had a tough time at the plate last year, had a great job on the mound, but a tough time at the plate. Just really couldn't find his stroke, but he's worked a lot in the offseason. There's strike two. He watches that one a little high for him. He Going to get a little bit of instruction from Coach Lowe over there in the third base box. And Witten quickly behind 0-2. Tried the outside corner and just missed. Witten now at 1-2. Shadows reaching the mound now. Still the wind laying low. That's a good thing, is that it's around 50 degrees, but that wind blowing, it feels like 40. Luckily, we're high in the catbird seat here today and got a little bit of protection from that cool breeze. Ball and 2 strikes as QB1 digs in from the right side. Here's the pitch. Oh, that one just missing. Wow, that one hard to take, but he did, and he draws the count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 down. Bell flew out into foul territory to start the inning. And there's a swing and a miss. Outside pitch floated a little bit outside the bat length, and Witten goes down for the second out. Could be a pitcher's duel here today. And speaking of, which pitcher on pitcher is Carter Babb. We'll see his first at bat. Babb's got 6 plate appearances this year, 3 recorded at bats. Been on base half the time. Still looking for that first base hit. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes quickly in the hole is Carter Babb. And if this thing keeps going like this, we may be done before the track meet's done. Lefty on lefty, pitcher on pitcher. And he watches strike 3, just hit the outside. So the young Lake Hamilton pitcher is dialed in as he sets the Badgers down in order here in the top of the second inning. We're going to keep it right here as we'll see the Badgers take the field for the bottom. Arkadelphia starting conference play tomorrow. They'll be back at home. Home opener against Coach Ethan Crocker and his DeQueen Leopards. He'll bring the Leopards in, and like Coach Wiegand, he always has his club ready to start the year, and they'll go deep in the playoffs expected, just like the Wolves are each year, and hopefully the Badgers as well. But he'll be there. First pitch tomorrow from Arkadelphia in the new Southern Bancorp Field at the complex. First pitch scheduled for 5 p.m. Bring the blankets out and look forward to a good day at the ballpark. Remember, no broadcast from home. We want you guys out there to watch those kids in person. They work hard. They expect you to come out and catch them every once in a while. So we'd love for you to come out and see the Badgers. We've got some hopefully some fun activities next week. Next Thursday, Arkadelphia will have a home game, a conference game. Or excuse me, next Friday, not this Friday, a week from Friday. We'll have Fountain Lake at home. Fountain Lake always a tough out. But it will be championship night at Southern Bancorp Field. Anyone that's been a state champion for Arkadelphia athletics, no matter high school, little league, quiz bowl, band, whatever, doesn't matter. If you've been a state champion and you're still alive, we want you to be there at the complex, and we're going to recognize as many of those folks as can be there. We hope it's just a good night. You know, Arkadelphia has been a city of champions with Henderson, Ouachita, and Arkadelphia bringing in a lot of championships, and we want to recognize those folks with some good baseball. Well, we start off the bottom of the second, and third baseman Jace Joyner stepping in from the right side. He takes the first pitch down in the dirt. Big breaking pitch by Babb. Did not get the call. Bounces away, a ball and no strike. From the windup, here's the pitch. That one outside. Starts it a little too far out. 2 balls and no strikes now. Jace Joyner. Carmack on deck, and Varner in the hole for the Wolves. There's a slow dribbler down first base. It has a little English on it and gets just to the right of Tucker Johnson, and not a lot of kind words from his first base coach as he, I don't know if he had trouble getting out of the box or just thought it was an easy out, but his first base coach gave him an earful. That young man didn't run very hard down to first base for whatever reason, and I bet he does next time. Either way, it gave Tucker a chance to gather himself and make the pitch back over to Babb for the out. So one down now. And Matthew Carmack, he's a shortstop, right-handed senior. Had a little bit of correction there. I think the coach was a little more irritated with the officiating staff that they didn't say it was a fair ball. Obviously, it was borderline hitting the plate, I think is what it was. It hit right in front of the plate apparently, and dribble stayed just fair, but some confusion. I think that's why the batter didn't come out of the box as hard. So either way, umpires are not necessarily, don't have to say it's a fair ball. They do have to say it's a foul, but don't have to say it's a fair ball. But usually in a case like that, the courtesy of the home plate umpire is to say, give it a little bit of inside with his arms, and he did not do that, much to the chagrin of the first base coach for the Wolves. Ball and 2 strikes now. Babb working hard here on the big right-handed senior. And there's one outside, stays away. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. One down here. Wind up, swing and a miss. Just tipped it. And that one's going to get off the right shin guard of Zane Hill. He stretches the leg out there a little bit. He's okay, but some courtesy time by the umpire. It makes baseball a great game. Still a little bit of manners in a sport that most sports don't have anymore is baseball. A little bit of two balls and 2 strikes now as Carmack digs back in and Babb comes set from the windup. Here's the pitch down in the dirt. Full count now to Matthew Carmack. Second baseman Ben Varner's on deck, and he will bat here in the bottom of the 2nd inning as there's 1 out, nobody on. Swing and a pop-up. That's going to get into shallow right field. Coming on and making the catch is Witten. He looked like he lost it maybe either in the sun or maybe, I don't think there's enough wind to make a little bit stirring, but I think he just lost it in the sun. Shadows making their way now out past the mound, and that sun is coming in right into those outfielders' eyes. It's a hard play to make, but he comes in and makes a shoestring catch for the 2nd out. So the Wolves have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order here as Babb is getting exactly what the doctor ordered on the mound today for Arkadelphia. Varner, second baseman. And there is a curve ball that comes right inside. I don't know, you call that a curve? You call that maybe a little bit of it's not a slider because it's actually coming inside. Maybe a little bit of a slurve maybe. Doesn't matter, it's a strike. Babb's ahead. There's a pitch, just misses down. Arkadelphia with a good 1-2-3 punch on the mound now that Babb seems to have got back, and all 3 are juniors. So Arkadelphia in a good position for next year going in with great pitching. There's a ball that's hit into right field. Going to his left and making the play right at the foul line is Donovan Witten. So 1, 2, 3 again go the Wolves here in the bottom of the second inning. We're all tied up at 0 from Lake Hamilton Field here in Hot Springs. You're listening to Badger Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Be great.
Participate.
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music and we talked. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic. Your honesty gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted in my own life.
And I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, in whatever you do.
Talk, they hear you.
All right, we're back here to start the third inning. Top of the third, K.D. Young, designated hitter today. In the 8th spot, he'll be followed by Zane Hill, and then back at the top of the order. K.D. been on the base paths a little bit in these first 2 games. He's getting it done. He find his played in both games. He's had 6 plate appearances. He's hitting .500. He's got a .500 on base percentage. There's a ball that's popped out into shallow right field, settling under it, making the catch for out number 1. And right field getting a lot of work on both sides of the defensive side. Zane Hill now, he's batting .500 as well, and the young catcher, even though he's still down in the 9 spot, he's had 3 base hits this year, so he's 3 for 6 from the plate. And he'll come on as quite a leader for these Badgers in the next couple of years as well. There's a pitch that catches the outside for the right-handed Arkadelphia sophomore. No balls and a strike. Swing and a miss, just got a piece of it, but into the mitt for strike 2. Very aggressive is Hill. He's one of these guys not going to strike out a lot, going to put the bat on the ball, and there's a ball that finds the top of the strike zone, just not quite settling in for ball 1. A ball and 2 strikes now. Here's the 1-2, and it's hit right to the to the second baseman, gobbles it up, and he's not in time, and down the line, one of the fastest Badgers on the team, and he makes us see why right there. Slow roller to the second baseman, not a whole lot of charge to it, but it wasn't a whole lot he could do with it. He comes up and makes a snap throw over to first base, but the speedy Hill beats it down, and so he's on base for the second base runner of the day for Arkadelphia. Offensive signals called out by Coach Lowe, and Zane going to readjust that right shoe down there. Nice hustle by the Arkadelphia catcher. And getting on base in front of Goodrum is a good thing because Tate is a very hard out. He's already been on his first time up with a leadoff walk, and so he'll get a chance to hopefully move the Badgers around. And he does just that as he shoots one through the right side into right field. Only a bag as it gets out to the right fielder quickly, who's playing in, but a base hit. And his second time on base and continuing to stay on fire is Tate Goodrum. So 1 out now, and Badgers on first and second. 1 in scoring position there is Hill at second. He gives a clap and a point over to his senior shortstop. And now with a chance to drive in the first runs of the game, is Wynn Pentecost. Great time for Wynn's first base hit right here. Outside, drifting outside is the pitch from the left-hander. And Pentecost staying out of the box for just a second, getting some last-minute instruction from Coach Lowe. Good lead, not being held on at first, and there's a strike. Carmack kind of drifting that way, but not holding him on hard at second as Hill's getting a lead, but a big lead over by Tate as the first baseman is playing deep. Two balls and a strike now. Campbell on deck. So short of a double play, he'll get to see another at bat. And the runners are off and going, and here's the throw down to second, and it is in time. A little bit of the throw beat it, but the tag put on by Carmack was a little early, if anything, and hopping over it, but not able to get the call. And so we've got a runner now down to third on the double steal, but Goodrum is caught for the second time this year as the double steal puts a runner 90 feet away for Arkadelphia, but gives up an out doing so. So 2 outs now. And Pentecost really needs a base hit here. 3 balls and a strike. So still way ahead in the count. Meeting at the mound by the infield and the battery for the Wolves. Coach's visit, number 1 on the inning. Just some defensive strategy there. Nothing wrong with the pitching. It's been really the only ding in the armor so far for either team is this inning. And so 3-1. Swing and a miss, and Pentecost was swinging for the track meet with that one. And he comes up empty. So I think our wind just went from 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the northeast. Swing and a miss, and he goes down, leaves the runner stranded at third. And so Arkadelphia with some smoke but no fire as the Badgers go down here in the top of the third inning. And we'll leave it right here as Babb trots back out for his third inning of work. The Badgers barked but didn't bite, and they weren't able to get that run in. The double steal not effective for Arkadelphia as it did get the runner down, but gave up that big out in doing so. And Arkadelphia really needed to get an extra batter, especially that lefty-on-lefty matchup that would have been a lot of fun to watch with a runner at scoring position. So while we wait on the inning to start, big news this week for Clark County, and want to really express our appreciation for everyone that worked on Project Cupcake. And you know, if you're like most of the general public and you're sitting around going, what kind of industry is coming in? It's got to be something having to do with the timber industry or something. Why in the world are we calling it Cupcake? Well, now we know. Hostess Snack Foods going to be moving in late 2023. And being the student of the game that I am, I did a little research on the Hostess Company. Started in 1919 in Kansas City, Missouri. 23 of your most popular snack items, anything from Ho-Hos to Twinkies and Ding Dongs and all the stuff that makes for good growing boys. And we may be I was talking to one of our fans today, and she said, well, hopefully we won't turn into the obesity capital or the diabetes capital of Arkansas, but we're definitely going to be the sweetest community in Arkansas with the new Hostess. We thank everyone for doing what they could to bring that great news to Clark County. So starting off here in the bottom of the third, back to the mound goes Babb. And starting to warm up a little over in the home dugout of the Wolves, starting to howl just a little bit. Babb's outside and in the dirt for his first pitch. There's a strike. Hayden Estrada, he's your right fielder. He's made a couple of putouts out there today already. On defense, he gets his first time at the plate, and he's even with Babb. Babb going to step back a little bit. Take another look. Cool day, trying to get that hand just like you want it on the baseball. There's a nice pitch. That pitch has been starting outside and moving in on the right-handed batters. That one stayed outside and fooled Estrada as he goes now down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes to start the bottom of the third. From the windup, looking over the glove, he takes the sign from Hill. Goes into the stretch, kicks and deals, and there's a ball hit high and deep into left field, settling under it is Bell. He reaches up and makes the catch in the afternoon sunshine for first out of the day, or excuse me, first out of the inning. Dalen Davis, designated hitter. Davis seeing his first time at the plate today. With one down. Here's the pitch. And that catches the inside. The first time that Babb has used the inside, really, with a fastball, and he comes in there and perfectly positions it right on the inside black, freezing the Lake Hamilton DH. Very good placement, very good ball placement today by Babb. Something he couldn't find last week, and he's got it today. There's a ball that's just down. Left to right, it looked perfect, but north and south just a little below the border. Ball and a strike now to the DH. Really settled into quite a nice afternoon here. A little chilly, but sun is out. There's another shot out there to Bell. He's going hard to his left, and he settles under it, makes it look easy. Trip Campbell lost his hat. I don't know how in the world that could happen, but he did. Campbell right there backing him up. Kind of a trademark for Trip. Quickly 2 down now as a couple of shots out there to left field and found our senior left fielder, Jarrett Bell. Easton Hurley now, center fielder. He'll see a ball come across the plate a little low and tailing outside to the lefty batter. Hurley batting ninth in the lineup. If he was to reach, we'll be back to Brock at the top of the lineup. 2 down now, and here's the 1-0 pitch. That one sails outside and high, ball 2. Predominantly right-handed lineup for the Wolves, this being one of, I believe, only 2 in the lineup. And even your left-handed pitchers, when they see those lefty batters, it's just a little different. Takes a minute to get used to. There's a ball that sails just a little bit high and outside. So the only time Babb's really been behind in the count, if you will, 3 balls and no strikes, and that's to the 9-hole hitter with Ethan Brock, the left fielder, on deck. And he come back out of the hole, and he finds that one right. Taking all the way was Hurley. So Carter not ready to give up on the at-bat just yet. Again, from the windup, here's the 3-1. And just missed. Man, hard to take, but he did. Taking all the way at 3-1 probably was Hurley. So base runner for the Wolves. And Brock will see the plate for his second time of the game. This time with a runner on base. I believe it's the first time we've seen Babb from the stretch. Hurley with a short lead, being held on. There's a throw over, and that not enough of a lead there by Hurley. Even caused him to go to the ground. He's back in easy, just a couple of steps. There's a outside pitch that sails just a bit. So a ball and no strikes. Once again, Arkadelphia back in action tomorrow. It'll be conference opener against the DeQueen Lepers. First pitch 5 o'clock from Southern Bancorp Field in Arkadelphia. 1-0 is the count from the stretch to the belt. Here's the kick and deal, and that one is high. So the first little bit of labor by Carter Babb is late here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs, a runner on, no score. Arkadelphia threatened in the last inning. Got a runner as far as third base, couldn't get around. They'll see the 3, 4, and 5 hitters up, and there's a ball that pops up, gets away from the catcher. He can't find it. Bounced off of probably maybe either his shin guard or toe. Bounced straight up in the air. He turned about 3 circles. Finally found it right in front of him, and too late to get the runner down to second base. So now runner in scoring position. 3 balls, no strikes. And the first little bit of trouble here for Arkadelphia. Brock takes the 3-0, and it's inside, and strike 1. Sun continuing to pour in at second base and in the outfield, but starting to shadow up in the corners a little. There's a long fly ball that's going to get quickly out of play down the left side. Hit harmlessly, but a big strike 2 there is Carter Babb pulls the count back to full. And with a runner in scoring position, a big foul for Babb. Big at bat right here for the leadoff batter for the Wolves. 3-2, runner at second base. The first time the Wolves have threatened, and a step off. And that's going to get a timeout and a trip to the mound by the catcher. Wants to make sure that all the signs are right. Wants to make sure that no matter what the outcome of the at-bat, that the Arkadelphia infield is in the right place. Rally caps going on over here by the, there's a turn and a little bit of a do-si-do out there by Tate Goodrum. Shortstop, they're trying to confuse the runner just a little bit as to who's covering. Cobb and Goodrum both playing a little cat and mouse there with second base runner. 3-2 the count. Back again is the step off. And so we go back once again to the stretch, to the belt. Here's the pitch, 3-2, and missed it just outside. So a runner at first and second now. Not a bad pitch by Babb. Didn't want to give him anything to hit hard. You've got a leadoff hitter there that's in that position for a reason. You don't want to give him a reason to stroke a base hit when hopefully you can get. Now you've got a lefty on lefty matchup. with first baseman Manley. And so with runners at first and second, no one being held on. And the runner at first base dangerously off there, but Johnson not covering first. So a bluff from Hill at the throw down. Not this time. And now we're going to have a stop in the action as Coach Lowe going to go out and check on his lefty and see, make sure everyone's on the same page. A lot of moving parts here in the top and the bottom of the third inning. Arkadelphia threatening with a runner as far as third base. Had a couple of runners on, tried the double steal. Goodrum thrown out at second. And then a swing and a miss by Pentecost to end the inning. And now it's Lake Hamilton's turn to repay the favor with runners at first and second. 2 outs. And their second number 2 hitter in the lineup, just like Arkadelphia's Pentecost. Their number 2 guy in the lineup with a chance to do damage for the Wolves. Ball and no strikes. Runners away from first and second. Here's a pitch. Down in the dirt. Gathered up quickly by Hill. Runners do not advance, but 2-0 is the count now, so running out of places to put Wolves. Colton Manley, the first baseman, 2 balls and no strikes to count. And here's the pitch from Babb. Gets down and away for ball 3. Dylan Horton, the catcher, is due up if Manley were to reach here in the bottom of the third. There's a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike, and you can bet that Manley going to be taking on a 3-1 count here with a chance to load the bases in front of the big right-handed catcher. And he looks like a guy that could make this a, there's another strike. Good pitch on the outside. Black there is Babb being very patient, staying in the zone. And we'll see if he comes after Manley here. Very patient hitting by Lake Hamilton. Here's the 3-2. And he misses outside. That one got away from him. And he couldn't get Manley to chase, so now the bases are loaded, and making his way to the plate for his second time is Dylan Horton. Horton hit a ball deep into the hole at shortstop in the first inning that was gobbled up in a great defensive play by Tate Goodrum. And so now with the bases loaded, the big senior catcher with a chance to really do some damage here in the bottom of the third. Back to the windup goes Babb. He takes a while, looks in, gets the sign. Runners not being held on. Everyone is in normal depth. There's one that's going to hit him. He comes in, hits him on the left shoulder, and the first run of the day is credited to a hit by pitch. And he'll get a pinch runner as the first run of the day is a result of bases loaded, hit by pitch. And so Jace Joyner is your batter now. Joyner, third baseman. The bases loaded. Arkadelphia with 1 hit. Still no hits for Lake Hamilton, but they do have a run across. The pitch that's just a little bit low. Gathered up by Hill. So we'll see what kind of leverage that we're going to have here from the Arkadelphia coaching staff. Babb really in the first trouble of the day, and there's one that must be, we're right behind the plate. It must be a little low because east to west it was right down the gut. Two balls, no strikes, nowhere to put him. Here's the pitch. And that one finds Black right on the outside to the righty. 2 balls and a strike. Babb takes a long trip around the mound, gathers himself. Takes a big deep breath, comes back. Toes the rubber for the windup. 2 balls and a strike to the third baseman. Kicking and dealing. And a pop-up on the infield. That's going to get to, that's going to be in no man's land. A run's going to come in. Another run's going to come in. And Arkadelphia, not real sure there what Ashton Cobb, it was a fisted kind of a nubber down to second base, kind of in no man's land. I don't think he could have got there and made the catch, but he let it hit. When it did, the English on the ball spun it a little bit between first and second base. Babb was there covering it at first, but neither side of the right side of the infield could get to it. And now quickly the Badgers are in a hole 3-0, and runners at the corners. And the big senior shortstop up and can do damage again as Arkadelphia is having a bit of the wheels fall off here with two down. All this damage coming with 2 outs in the inning. 8 straight up and down outs for Arkadelphia to start the game, and all of a sudden here with 2 down, it's just kind of been a bit of a landslide, and so Badgers need to get a big out here. Ball and no strikes. Carmack, the senior shortstop. Here's a pitch. Inside and low, bounces up in front of Hill. Runners at first and third, corners for Lake Hamilton. 2 outs, 3-0. Still no hits for Lake Hamilton, but able to do damage. I guess you would call that last one a hit. It was, I don't think you could call it an error. Just a unlucky bounce for the Badgers. So 1 hit, 3 runs on 1 hit. .30 is the count. Second base is open. There's a strike, so 3 balls and now a strike to Carmack. He's taking all the way. Might possibly be taking another pitch at 3-1. Big inning here for the Wolves. Three balls and a strike. We'll see if he gets the green light, and here comes Babb. That one just missing. Wow, that's close. And that's probably going to be it for Babb as making his way out. And following him out is Alex Turley. So Alex Turley, the senior, seeing some time on the Badger, not only the mound, but the Badger team since, I believe, his sophomore season. Turley turned into quite a good football player and wrestler as he's all-conference in both. Linebacker for the Badger baseball team and all-conference wrestler. Number 3 in the state in his weight class. And last he left the Badgers as a sophomore, he had a very live arm. And so he's decided he wanted to come back and finish out his Badger senior season and see if he might can throw a few strikes here. So we'll see what Alex Turley can do for the Badgers as he'll replace Babb. Here in the bottom of the third with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And so obviously Turley going to have some butterflies, having not seen the mound or even the baseball diamond for a couple of years. He's a competitor and quite the competitor, so we'll see. Coming off with his warm-up pitches, he looks pretty good. Found the strike zone there with the second pitch. Turley, not a very unconventional delivery, but he does come toward the batter a little more than most pitchers. Most pitchers will fall off one side or the other. Turley comes straight at the pitchers and gives it a couple of little hop steps, which is a little unorthodox for a few pitchers, but that's his style and what works for him, so we'll see if he can make it work for him. Sun's starting to fall completely behind the clouds as just a bit of the outfield rail, top rail of the fence still catching some sunshine. Everything else is falling into the afternoon shadows. And it is still a very chilly afternoon, 47 degrees right now, and luckily the wind has died down about 6 miles per hour, but out of the chilly northwest. And yesterday was bright, or a nice, not necessarily sunny, but nice warm day, afternoon. Actually got out, worked a little bit, raked some leaves, worked up a pretty good sweat, and this morning got up to sleet falling on the roof. So never know what you're going to wake up in. Today it's a chilly afternoon and should be a little chilly tomorrow afternoon as Arkadelphia opens up their conference schedule against the Queen. So here we go, bottom of the third, 2 outs, 3 on. And the first pitch from Alex Turley is a strike. So Ben Varner, the second baseman, is standing at the plate looking at 3 Wolves on the bases. What am I going to do about it? And he takes ball 1, so quickly a ball and a strike to the second baseman, Alex Turley, in relief of Carter Babb. Carter pitched two and 2/3 inning of absolute flawless baseball and just ran into some trouble here. But you know, early in the season, if you get 2 or 3 innings out of any pitcher, it's just a wonder, especially when the weather's cold like it is and you're playing up in class against a team that's not going to give in. So a ball and 2 strikes now is and the umpire wanted to call strike 3. The ball either hit him or the catcher, and I guess he forgot to make the call. And so the runner advances from third on a pass ball. And now it is 4-0. Wolves, and runners at second and third. Not sure why that was not a strike, but it got away from the catcher and hit someone on the top of the foot, and I believe it was the umpire. Strike 3. Check swing, and Turley gets out of the inning, but giving up 1 run. That is a run that will be charged to Babb. And so Arkadelphia with a rough third of an inning here as they close out the bottom of the third with 4 runs on the board. So 4-0 is the count. Wolves over the Badgers, as we will be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Arkadelphia Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you.
So talk back here. You can do it if you try.
Back to Hot Springs and Lake Hamilton. Top of the fourth inning, Arkadelphia ran into a buzzsaw with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, gave up 4 runs on some walks and a little squib shot to second base that wasn't able to be played. So Arkadelphia climbing up a hill now. Trip Campbell will start things off for the Badgers. He takes ball 1 to start the at-bat. Inside, ball 2. Campbell quickly ahead. Brent Davis, the left-hander, he's gone the entire way. He's given up 1 hit. Arkadelphia with a runner as far as third base last inning to no avail, and he's quickly behind the Arkadelphia center fielder. 3 balls and no strikes. Arkadelphia needs base runners right now. There is not a 4-run hit that we can see. There's a strike. No swing of the bat's going to produce 4 runs, so we need base runners, and Trip Campbell taking all the way there in 3 balls and now 1 strike. Davis working from, there's a base hit. Nice shot out into right field, and Trip Campbell set back on that one and made a nice easy swing and a nice base hit, the second base hit of the day for the Badgers, the first for Trip Campbell. And Arkadelphia with things looking up here in the top of the 4th inning. Wonderful facilities here at Lake Hamilton. They've recently built a nice big arena, had some upgrades to not only the baseball field here but the football stadium, building some new schools, got some turf playgrounds, some things that Arkadelphia has actually been looking at trying to emulate a little bit with some of their new facilities, and just a nice community here and nice new facilities and everything nice and cozy here. And the outskirts of Piercy and Hot Springs. Tucker Johnson now, he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Leadoff base hit for Trip Campbell. He's leading off of first, being held on over there by Manley. And there's a shot right back up the middle. Hopefully it's not a double play. It's going to get to second for 1 and across in time. And quickly the Badgers down 2 outs as tailor-made double play right up the middle by Tucker Johnson. And poor Tucker can't buy a break in these first 3 games of the season. So a base runner erased and quickly down 4 runs and 2 outs now in the top of the 4th. And here's Jarrett Bell. He fouled out down the right field line, his first at bat in the 2nd inning. Quickly swinging in the hole. Big cut by the senior left fielder. He's seen some defensive work out there, but yet to reach base on the offensive side. Here's Bell. Swing and a miss, and that one kind of got in his pocket a little bit, fisted him right on the handle. He fouls it down in front of him, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. You're not going to see Bell strike out much. He's not going to walk much either. He's going to get his money's worth, and there is a strikeout. And so, just as I called it, Badgers go quickly. A base hit, but 1, 2, 3. on a double play and a strikeout by Bell. And so Arkadelphia quickly running out of outs here as they are halfway through this one and trailing 4-0 here in Lake Hamilton. Want to give a shout out to the Arkadelphia men's basketball team. A great regular season. Things didn't go great in the playoffs, but they made it to the state tournament. Nice job by the Arkadelphia Badgers. Speaking of the Arkadelphia Badgers, Ryan Harris, one of the starting guards for the Arkadelphia basketball team, seeing his first game dressed out today for the Badger baseballers. He's back on the diamond after a year hiatus. Glad to see Juice Harris back for Arkadelphia. And speaking of Juice, how about Justice Hill and his work for the Murray State Racers? Son of our own Fitz Hill, a graduate of Arkadelphia and Ouachita Baptist. And Justice Hill named not only did Murray State win the conference, but he was named the conference tournament MVP. So congratulations to Justice Hill. We know that Dr. Fitz Hill is the proud daddy, and we're proud to call Justice one of our own. Even though he wasn't a Badger, his dad sure was, and a very good one at that. And so very proud of Justice and the Hill family. Basketball is starting to wind down. Even the Razorbacks and the rest of the college getting into their conference tournaments. Arkansas they'll be playing in the quarterfinals, actually, making it, even though they dropped the last game of the year to Tennessee, they're going to have a couple of byes to be able to get to the quarterfinals. Tampa, Florida this year. Jacob Kuhn, he's going to see the mound. He'll come out and start the top of Judson Kuhn. I don't know why I keep calling him Judson Kuhn. Showing my age a little bit. Luckily, I'm like someone's grandpa, and I call all the grandkids' name before I get to yours. Judson Kuhn is our pitcher. He's our third arm of the day out of the bullpen for the Badgers. He'll start the bottom of the fourth for Arkadelphia. And Hayden Estrada, the right fielder, he will lead off things. Estrada, Davis, and Hurley will be the three to see action here in bottom of the fourth. There's a pitch just missing outside. That one close. That's a hard pitch not to call on the 7th of March. But it misses for ball one. Slow wind up. That one a little bit low. Once again, our vantage point is directly behind the plate, so we've got a catcher and an umpire right between us and where the ball lands, and it looks good left to right, but a little bit north and south. There's a pitch right on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike now. Judson Kuhn has that almost slow Karate Kid posing delivery. And there's a ball that's going to be shot down the right side, but foul. Big foul territory here. A lot of room to make plays if you're a defender, and a lot of room to get a long fly ball foul out if you're a hitter. The 2-2 count. And there's a ball shot into short, right field, playing up and coming in to make the catch is Witten. Moving just to his left a couple of steps, and quickly there's one away. So Estrada down for the first out of the inning. Dalen Davis now, the designated hitter. He'll step in for the Wolves. No difference in the defensive lineup for Arkadelphia. Only the pitcher has changed. And there's a ball that's just a little bit low. Kuhn all over the plate. He's missing a little bit north and south, but everything seems to be right in the vicinity of the strike zone. There's a foul ball on the left side. Gets out of play and down the warning track. Judson staying within the count at a ball and a strike now. Arkadelphia like a quick inning and get a chance to get back up there and present a little more danger. One inning there in the third was really the only spark the Badgers have had offensively. Last inning, the leadoff single by Trip Campbell was to no avail as we're doubled up and a strikeout to end the top of the fourth. Now in the bottom of the fourth, Judson Kuhn on the mound. He's seeing his first action. 2 balls and a strike now to Davis, the DH. From the windup, swing and a miss. Judson has a little bit of a deceiving pitch. He looks like he's going to really snap that pitch up there, but it just kind of dies once it gets to the plate and slows down a little bit. And the the hitter's usually way out in front, as is the case there. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Kuhn slides that foot on the rubber. And there's a ground ball to third baseman, up and across, and not in time. He had to go deep to his right side. That was Pentecost all the way to the line, and speeding down the line, the DH has some wheels, and he's able to beat the throw out. A little bit of an off-balance, fading away throw from Pentecost, and the one hopper's not there in time. Good dig there by Johnson at first, but not in time. So with an out and now a runner aboard, here's Hurley, the number 9 hitter, and he walked to start the damage last inning. And there's a very well played bunt down the left side. And I'd have to give a hats off to that young man. That's about as perfectly a placed bunt as you can have. And he advances the runner to scoring position here with an out. And again, now the Wolves in business again, and the top of the lineup up. And Ethan Brock, Hill going to make a visit to the mound and make sure that they're on the same page with the base runners on. A couple of them now. And bottom of the lineup getting it done for the Wolves today. Started that inning, that last inning, that productive inning, was the bottom of the lineup. And once again, it is the bottom that gets the Wolves started again here in the bottom of the fourth. Now from the stretch, Kuhn looking the runner at second. Bluffing a little bit on the hold is Tate. There's another one that's going to get down. And so, not sure. Ball was thrown to first. So the ball was thrown to first. I didn't think he was going to make the throw. Kuhn went over. It would have been impossible to make the play, really, but he went ahead and made the throw. It got away from the first baseman. Luckily, covering was Witten from right field, and he holds Lake Hamilton to just 1 run. And so now we've got runners at second and third, still 1 out. The left-handed hitting Manley is up. Manley got those long flowing blonde locks. Left side of the plate, the open stance. Trouble here for Judson Kuhn. That one gets to the screen, but it's just foul tipped, and lucky for Arkadelphia, that would have been another run scored. Most likely, as Hurley is full of speed at third base and not going to get him, most likely. Long trip to the backstop for Hill, and there's just not a lot of ricochet here, but straight back, so going to be hard to throw anybody out from a pass ball. 1-0 pitch. Down low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 on, 1 across already. Here in the inning, 5-0 the score as Arkadelphia trailing Lake Hamilton. And there's a fly ball into right center field. Converging over and making the catch is Bell. He's going to come up throwing. And had a tag, I guess. Had a tag from third base. Couldn't tell if he left a little early. I guess not. No appeal or no play was made. So the 6th run of the inning will be a sacrifice from Manley. Dylan Horton now will be with 2 down. He'll step to the plate once again with a runner still in scoring position at second base. 6-0. Half a dozen here, all coming here in the last couple of innings. Lights are on here at Lake Hamilton. Track meet still going on just above the right center field area. Hard to find a parking spot here for a day of baseball with a bunch of track buses. Track buses apparently believe that parking across 8 parking spots is better than 1. Usually during a track meet, they'll move the buses off to an off-site. Not so lucky today. Ball and a strike now. Dylan Horton, the catcher. Ouachita Baptist football signee. And he misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Coach Knight had a lot of success with Arkansas players over the years, and boy, what an asset to the community. Not only has the Knight family been, but Ouachita Baptist University has just been a powerhouse in football, and a lot of it is because of players just like this young man from right here in Arkansas. He takes the kids and turns them into fine young men and pretty good ball players. 2 balls, 2 strikes now, as Kuhn trying to work his way out of the inning. He's given up a couple here. He's got Deuces Wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 across for the Wolves. And he comes set to the belt, steps off the back. And he'll come set again. A little nod. Covering the bag is Cobb. And there's a ball hit sharply to Cobb. He'll field it right in front of him. Makes the throw over to Johnson in time for the 3rd out. But more damage is done. 2 more across for Lake Hamilton as they end the 4th inning of play with a 6-0 lead over Arkadelphia. You're listening to Badger Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
Do allow me to learn to fight my own battles.
Don't try to relive your youth through me. Do allow me to make mistakes and learn from them.
Don't allow me to quit before I complete the activity. I need to learn perseverance.
Do support me and come to watch me play and perform and be my biggest fan regardless of the outcome.
Don't encourage me to specialize in a specific activity or sport.
Don't talk bad about my teammates and coaches.
Do teach me to respect my coaches, instructors, and officials.
Do understand that education-based activities are more about just winning and losing. They're about learning.
So we're back for the top of the 5th inning. Donovan Witten will lead things off for Arkadelphia. He's been a hot stick so far this year. We'll see if he can continue that. Babb is scheduled up next in the batting lineup, although he was replaced on the mound. We'll see who Coach Lowe brings in to hit in Babb's spot. And then KD Young and Zane Hill would be 3 and 4 in the inning. So back to the mound again is the young lefty for Lake Hamilton. He's pitched to Jim today, 2-hitter, shutout. Witten trying to have a little something to do with that. Here he comes. Strike on the outside, right at the belt. Witten is down 0-1. Taking that pitch. Witten struck out his last time up. And here's the 0-1. Inside, misses. Ball and a strike. Looks like Carter Babb's back in the on deck circle, so he's going to be re-entering the ball game. He may be coming in. Just depends on who we see on the mound. If we see another inning of work by Kuhn, he could possibly come in and play right field. Just all depends. 2 balls and a strike now. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 3. So another chance for the Badgers to put a leadoff runner on. Witten most likely taking here as Arkadelphia needs base runners in a big way. Nobody out here. Top of the 5th inning. Badgers trail 6-0. And ball 4 is the first ticket on for Witten today. And Carter Babb, he'll get a chance to hit again. Re-entering the game. KD on deck. Couple of conference games this week also, just as we remind you, tomorrow at home, a conference opener, DeQueen, and then Friday we travel to Bauxite for the first road conference game. Badgers will get a break on Wednesday, but a very busy week. 3 o'clock afternoon game in Ashdown. They'll play Arkansas High in a tournament there in Ashdown, and then 2 games on Saturday. DeRidder, Louisiana at 9 in the morning. And then another ball game at 1. So a lot of baseball, and he's caught off first base. He's going to come in and be in a rundown. He's not going to get it. Outside the line is Witten, and the Badgers' base runner is erased. So 1 out now, Arkadelphia with down 6-0. And the runner's thrown out in a rundown. Babb, no balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. That ball from the lefty tailed outside, and Babb just out of his reach. Here's the 0-2. It's outside. That one not fishing is Babb. Ball and 2 strikes now. Here's the pitch. Swung on and just fouled down the right side. It'll get out of play. And so still a ball and 2 strikes. Babb pitched 2 2/3 innings of perfect baseball for Arkadelphia. And then had some trouble, had a walk, but had a very unconventional squibber to the second baseman that was just really an odd ball that got down and advanced runners and had a ball, a couple of more walks and couldn't quite recover. Babb pops one up, back out of play. Still 1-2. Pitch is down low for ball 2. Now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Badgers down and out here, even though they had a leadoff walk. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Babbs worked the count to full. And once again, needing base runners, Arkadelphia trailing 6-0. Needs base runners in a big way here. Babb being very patient at the plate. Here's the payoff pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball hit into deep right center or left center field, and going to his right, making the play, is the center fielder. And a little bit of center field theatric there, but he makes the play. Good play there for the second out. Katie Young now be the Arkadelphia hitter.
Now up for the Badgers, number 25, Katie Young.
And we can maybe paying a little attention to his lefty. He's getting deep into the game here. A lot of pitches thrown. It's a cool afternoon, and don't want to burn him up for, obviously, for conference play. These guys are going to be starting their conference play before long. Not a lot of, and he's going to get a curtain call there is from his outfielders. A nice job by the left-hander. We'll see who coach goes with. So Ethan Hurley going to take the mound for Lake Hamilton. Hurley coming in from center field. Not real sure who the center fielder replacement will be, but we'll let you know as soon as we find out. A little dark out there, hard to see those numbers. All right, so we've got number 15 is David Phelan. David Phelan is going to be the new center fielder for the Wolves. So new pitcher Easton Hurley, been the center fielder, and he'll be replaced by Phelan out in center. So another lefty for Lake Hamilton. Looks like a dugout or a bullpen full of left-handers over there. Not a bad place to be. Arkadelphia, a couple of lefties of their own. Obviously Carter Babb with a good start to today. Trip Campbell, a nice outing, almost near perfect outing last week as Arkadelphia shut out the Gurdon Go Devils, and a no-hit shutout for Tripp. Things will get more complicated tomorrow, and they'll count a little more as the Arkadelphia will enter conference play. And once again, Ethan Crocker bringing in a DeQueen Leopard program that he's had for, this will be going into his 3rd year, and each year he's gotten better. Those guys down there are buying into a program that Coach Crocker has brought to DeQueen, and they'll bring it to Arkadelphia tomorrow. Big swing, big cut there by Young as the new lefty brings it right down the gut, and he's right over the top of it. Arkadelphia playing at the complex tomorrow, Southern Bancorp Field. Not expecting any rain, and so barring any significant rain tomorrow, they'll be at the complex, otherwise possibly at Henderson. But unless there's a lot of rain tomorrow to soak the field, we should be there at Southern Bancorp Field. A swing and a miss. Down goes KD on 3 pitches, and just like that, the Badgers go away into the midnight sky, the late night sky here, or even early night sky at Lake Hamilton. Arkadelphia now down to their last 6 outs as we'll go now to the bottom of the 5th. 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th, and that's where we stand right now, 6-0. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Brian.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Well, we're back here at Lake Hamilton, bottom of the 5th inning. Arkadelphia goes quietly in the top and seeing his first action of the day and moving on to the mound is Donovan Whitten. Carter Babb going to take his place out in right, so there's the answer to our lineup questions. Is Whitten going to get a little extra work in here before the conference season begins? Not sure how much of a leash he's going to have today, but all the work you can get leading into conference is going to be probably needed. Arkadelphia got a big week. A lot of ball to be played between a couple of conference games, 3 tournament games, and an out-of-conference game. Five ball games in 6 days. And so here's Donovan Whitten, the Big Badger right-hander, as he steps in against Jace Joyner. Joyner, the third baseman. Bottom of the 5th inning here. Badgers trailing 6-0. Pitch is high for ball 2. Big thanks to Chris Babb for keeping our ticker going today, our score, and sure makes my life a lot easier without having to work the technology in. And Whitten going to find the zone there. 2 balls and a strike. Whitten saw work against Bismarck, came in and gave up a 2-run home run. The only time anyone, I think, even touched the baseball. There is a high fly ball out into left, settling under at his bell. He's got it going to his left and reaches out to make the first out. Very hard to see out in the outfield, just not a very friendly park for outfielders, especially left fielders. Very bright. You can see the definite difference in the outfield and infield as far as the lighting. Those high fly balls are hard to see. Nice job there by JB. Strike 1 is the count to Matt Carmack. Carmack, shortstop for the Wolves, a senior. 0-1. Ball gets down in the zone just a bit. Ball and a strike. Looking over that pitcher's glove. Right on the outside, Black. Nice placement there by Witten. Witten not a pitcher that has a lot of movement, but he does have good placement. Big, tall, 6'3", 6'4" frame coming at you. Takes a lot of that travel off the baseball when you land at the front of the pitching circle, and that time he did. He got Carmack fishing on an inside pitch, applying the tag as heel, and quickly there are 2 outs, and Arkadelphia needs a big defensive half inning. Ben Varner now, second baseman. We'll see if Witten can get the Wolves in order for the first time in a while. High inside. The 1-0 pitch. And that's a strike right down the middle. Bell tie. Varner even now. Ball and a strike. For every game conference that Arkadelphia baseball plays, the ladies softball play as well in the same park. So we want to welcome the ladies' first conference action tomorrow night against the Lady Leopards as well. There's a foul ball that's hit up into the lights right over the foul fence down the first base line. You can tell that the players, when they look up, they get eyes full of lights. Usually early in the season, it takes a little getting used to as well. They're not used to those night lights, and on a night that's kind of cool and eyes get a little misty, it's hard to. There's a shot out into center field. It's going to starting back and then coming in to make the play is Trip Campbell. And so 1-2-3 go the Badgers. Nice frame there by Witten as he gets a pat on the backside by Coach Lowe. And so the Badgers need that. They've got 6 innings to make some magic. They need 6 runs. As we'll be back here for the top of the 6th inning, you're listening to Badger Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
Quickly back here for the top of the 6th. Badgers have got 6 outs to make up a 6-run deficit, and it starts with Zane Hill. He'll get things started for the Badgers, then back to the top of the lineup. Tate Goodrum and Wynn Pentecost. We'll see at-bats as well here in the top of the 6th. So here's the sophomore catcher. He's going to pop one out of play. Count now even a ball and a strike. Very efficient inning for Donovan Witten. He got some good work in, and he'll probably see some action tomorrow. Pitch down in the dirt, and the inside gets away. Bounces just in front of catcher. No harm, nobody on base. Start of the 6th inning. Badgers down 6 runs. Swing and a miss. Hill a little bit behind the inside fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tate Goodrum on deck. Strike 3 called, and Zane goes down. The first out of the inning. Goodrum's been on base every time he's been up, and no surprise there. He's on base about 800%. About 800%. Takes ball 1. Pentecost behind him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Taken high, ball 2. Badgers need base runners once again. No 6-run play in baseball, and Arkadelphia knows that. They need to get Goodrum on. Ball 3 inside. Good time for Arkadelphia bats to come alive here. And ball 4. That one just a little north of the mark, and so Pentecost will see another at bat. As one more time, Tate Goodrum is on base for Arkadelphia, this time with one out in the top of the 6th. Being held on over there by Manley. Goodrum with a little bit of a secondary lead and a big hop as the pitch is thrown. It's a ball, first pitch to win. Here's the 1-0. That one finds the zone. Ball and a strike now. Badger third baseman. Wynn took a year off. He came back last year and played a lot for Arkadelphia. This year he's a starter at third base, has been for all 3 games this year. There's a pitch that's going to get back to the backstop, and will get Goodrum down to second base. Bounces off the catcher's left toe, and he's going to go out to the mound, and may have got a little signal crossing there from his pitcher. Make sure. Usually a senior catcher knows where that ball's coming unless there's a little bit of miscommunication. Could have been the case. No harm done. With a 6-run lead, it's okay. But Arkadelphia does have a runner in scoring position. 2-1 count to Pentecost is high and inside. It's 3 balls and a strike. So again, Arkadelphia with a good chance to get some base runners. The big hitting Campbell is on deck, and be a good thing to. There's a strike on the outside. Pentecost started to head down to first and just caught the outside. Full now to number 7. And we'll see if the pitcher comes to him here. The count full. He does not. He comes inside, and so ball 4. 2 walks and 2 runners on, and that's going to draw a visit from the Wolves dugout. And that may be all for Mr. Hurley. And so looks like we're going to have a visit, but not necessarily an exchange. So maybe Hurley staying in the ball game. Guess he probably will, unless we've got someone in the bullpen. A little bit of action down in the Lake Hamilton bullpen. Maybe a little bit of just buying some time. No, they're going to leave Hurley in. He's going to get the ball to – he's going to get a chance to continue on. So probably a short leash on the left-hander, but nonetheless, he'll get a second go of it. Coach Wiggins going to get back to the dugout and we'll see Trip Campbell up. Campbell from the left side, runners at first and second for the Badgers. There's a hard shot that's going to get foul out of play down the right side. Got just around a little too much. Good wood on it, but just foul. And the 0-1 pitch just hits the outside quickly now behind. Oh, and 2. And strike 3 is called, and he did not like that. Did not like that pitch at all, but Badgers now down to their second with 2 outs now in the top of the 6th, and Tucker Johnson with 2 runners on, 2 outs. Be a good time for Tucker Johnson to break out. Swing and a miss. Nobody holding on the runners. Goodrum at second, Pentecost at first. Swing and a miss. Down quickly, 0-2 is Johnson. Jarrett Bell on deck. And back in is Tate, and there's a balk. Goodrum faked the steal and drew the balk from the pitcher, so runners are going to advance on to second and third. So now base hit could potentially score 2 runs. Tucker down 0-2, but nice, smart thinking over there by Tate Goodrum as he draws the balk from the left-handed pitcher, Hurley. Ball and 2 strikes now. And high. Hard to lay off for Johnson. You can see he kind of had a little bit of want to in it, but he held up, so he'll be rewarded with an even 2-2 count. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout, and Arkadelphia fools its chance again, leaves 2 runners in scoring position, and once again they go quietly here in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on, a couple of walks. 2 runners in scoring position. Once again, the Badgers have left a small village on the bases and yet to score. And they're down to their last 3 outs. So here we go. Bottom of the 6th. Witten came out and shut down the Badgers, and looks like Jarrett Bell going to take the mound for Arkadelphia. Witten going to be out in left field. Still out in right is Babb. And so Jarrett Bell, who's playing left field, see his first time on the mound for the Badgers. Bell has played just about every position on the field in his time. Started his career as a catcher. Most of his youth was catching. He pitched up until he was probably 9 or 10 years old, and first time I believe he's seen live arm action since he was 10 years old. So we'll see. It's only been 8 years. Equals a number on his back. Everybody else going to be the same defensively. Left to right in the infield, again, Pentecost, Goodrum, Cobb, and Johnson. In the outfield, left to right is Witten, Campbell, and Babb. Still behind the plate, Zane Hill, and his predecessor behind the plate is now on the mound. That's Jarrett Bell. JB not going to throw the ball real hard, but he's going to throw some junk. He's going to try to hit some spots, and he's going to work very quickly. One thing that the Badgers have got this year that they have been lacking some in years past is some depth in the bullpen. You've got a couple of guys that are back doing some pitching that haven't done it in quite a while, and Bell and Turley. You've got a guy that's got an ability to pitch, and Ryan Juice Harris, he's got some pitching chops about him as well. And then, of course, you've got the guys that are developing that have been doing it, the three Amigo juniors, and may have a little bit of youngsters that are starting to progress a little bit. Carson Carrozza throwing well for the Badgers in JV action last week. Nice work for the young freshman. Arkadelphia with a huge pack of freshman players, and going to get some work out of some of those guys. Here's the pitch from Bell. Starts out with a strike that tails inside on the right-handed batter. Almost got a little bit of slurve to it. Here's Bell. He's got a high leg kick, strike two, and he's pumping in strikes. So we'll see. Hayden Estrada now down in the hole, down in the 0-2 hole. And here's the 0-2 pitch by Bell, and it's going to be a shot right through the right side. So what started out as a good strong performance ends up in a 2-strike base hit for Estrada. And so Dalen Davis the DH is going to be up now. Leadoff hit for Estrada. And to the stretch goes Bell. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled inside. He fisted him on an inside pitch. Ball gets away, gets just out of the reach of Bell. Over there to cover it up is Pentecost. The live ball. JB throwing strikes here. We'll see if he can find a ground ball or a ground ball out here. There's off and running, and that's ball's going to sail out just to the left of the shortstop, covering the bag, and Estrada down, the speedy Estrada down to second base, stealing, and now a runner in scoring position. A little bit of cat and mouse going on between the shortstop and the second baseman, holding and trying to hold Estrada close to second. And a bunt. It was a fake bunt. I guess he got it back. It's hard to see again. We're right behind both the catcher and the umpire, and he pulled it back, and a pole and a couple of windows, but he got it back. So 2 balls and a strike now, close to being a called strike, but runner leads away from second. He's off to third. And Pentecost is not covering third base. Well, Pentecost was diving in, and nobody was there at third. So all the way down to third is Estrada now on a base hit, and he's wheeled himself around to scoring position and 90 feet away for Lake Hamilton. Nobody out here, bottom of the 6th. Bell in trouble, at least with one runner. He gave up a leadoff base hit. He's at 2-2 now. And there's a shot that's going to be just over the wall, just inside the left side foul pole. And so what started out as some strikes being thrown has turned into a party for Lake Hamilton. And they're going to bring a small village out to welcome in their designated hitter. And so two batters and 2 runs now as a 2-run home run. All that base stealing by Estrada was not needed, but Hurley now. And JB can't catch a break. Everything seems to be finding a hole or finding the fence. It's good to see that at least he can throw strikes. There's been nights that it's just tough to find the strike zone. And the thing about it is, if you got a good defense, Arkadelphia does have a good defense. Lake Hamilton's just a very good team. They hit base hits. They hit the ball hard. Eight to nothing. Arkadelphia taking it on the chin. There's a ball that is fouled high and out of play down the left side. Bell again ahead in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. Easton Hurley on the mound now for the Wolves. There's a ball that just misses, just a little bit low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if JB tries to find another corner. That's probably the answer, and not just right down the middle. We'll see. And again, he gets a foul off down the left side, so working hard. Badgers scoreless across the board. And 3 of the 6 innings have produced runs for Lake Hamilton. Again, Arkadelphia starting out a big 2 2/3 innings from Carter Babb and lost a little control. There's a pop up out into left field. Under it is Witten. And so first out. Hurley back up to the top now, and Ethan Brock. So nobody on, a couple of runs across on a 2-run home run by Dalen Davis. A long fly ball out there. And on now the top of the order, back up for Lake Hamilton. Left fielder Davis from the windup. JB with a ball that finds the dirt. Ball and no strikes. Strike. Ball and a strike now. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Swing, check swing. And he got him. Not quite sure why the home plate umpire did not see that. He almost come back around and hit him in the back of the helmet. But yet he didn't call it. He needed an appeal, but luckily the first base umpire was on the job. Ball and 2 strikes. And there's another pop-up out into left field, high and short, and it's going to be Tate Goodrum out there, and can of corn for the all-conference shortstop right at the back of the dirt. So after a base hit and a 2-run shot, 2 quick outs now, and the number 2 batter and first baseman Cohen Manley. will step in for the first left-handed batter. And here's the pitch from Bell. Inside, ball 1. Right-hander, Senior Bell from the windup. Comes set, kicks and deals. Outside, ball 2. So he tries inside, he tries outside. Manley's not fishing, so we'll see if he comes in to the strike zone here. Down 2 balls and a strike. Or excuse me, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on. And he does. That one just a little low and outside, so 3 balls, no strikes, 2 down, nobody on, but Manley should be taking all the way, and he does. Ball high and outside. First walk issued by Bell. And so Horton now with a chance to continue the inning. Bell going to go back to the stretch now. We'll see if he's got a pickoff move, and he comes home. There's a hit and run is on. Cross to first in time is Win Pentecost. And so after a 2-run shot, Bell gets himself out of the inning with a couple of long flyouts and a ground ball to end the 6th, but 2 more added by the Wolves. And so a snowman on the board for Lake Hamilton as they go into the top of the 7th inning with an 8-run cushion, and the Badgers down to their last 3 outs. We're going to take one more break, and then we'll be back here to Lake Hamilton. You're listening and watching Arkadelphia Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
Oh, the 7th inning stretch. We had a malfunction here. We could hear some organ music, and it sounded familiar, and it was the Star Spangled Banner. And just a little malfunction here in the ballpark, but we had a God Bless America come in from the peanut gallery. So hey, we're patriotic up here in the booth tonight. You can hear it once, you can hear it twice, you can't hear it enough. Boy, we just said up here that just a few minutes ago, the baseball's a funny game. You start out so great, and then things kind of lose its luster, but there's always something to smile about at a baseball game. Well, things come full circle, and they do again, once again here. Matthew Carmack going to take the mound for the Wolves, and at the plate is Jarrett Bell. You know, these two went at it for probably a stretch of about 6 to 8 years. Quickly grounding to shortstop is Bell, and he's going to be thrown out to start the inning. But travel teams, and very close. Arkadelphia had a travel team, the Copperheads, and Bell played for the Copperheads for many, many years. And right up the road in Bismarck, and some players from Hot Springs was the Seams, and Carmack played for the same, so these guys know each other probably on the baseball field about as much as anybody. Quick work, though. Carmack sits him down, and that brings Witten up. So down to their final 2 outs now, and Donovan Witten, the Badger, that can get things going for Arkadelphia. Another strike, two strikes down, and Arkadelphia starting to show a little ill body language here. You can tell it's been a long night for them. Got to get back up quick because tomorrow starts counting in the conference column once again. And there's strike 3. That ball that's right down the middle. So now down to their last out, and Carter Babb got things started on the mound. We'll see if he can keep it going at the dish. Keep it here right after the game for just a few minutes. We're going to talk about the rest of the week, a big week for Arkadelphia baseball. We want to get everyone knowing where to tune in and where to be and what times and all that good stuff. There's a strike. Ball and a strike now. Babb. Foul ball down the left side. So now Arkadelphia down to its last strike. Will be JV action tonight here at the ballpark. A lot of Arkadelphia youngsters getting a chance. And there's strike 3. Call strike 3, and that'll do it as Arkadelphia falls 8-0 here to a very good Lake Hamilton team. And good luck to the Wolves as they begin their conference. And Whit Jones, congratulations to him for taking part in a big win tonight for the Wolves. Final 8-0. Arkadelphia falls to Lake Hamilton here. Tomorrow night, remember, Arkadelphia will be in action at home, Southern Bancorp Field. First pitch at 5 o'clock. Arkadelphia taking on the DeQueen Leopards. Wednesday, they'll have the night off. The only night this week they'll have off. Thursday afternoon, they'll travel to Ashdown to take on the Arkansas High Razorbacks for a 3 o'clock first pitch in the Ashdown Invitational Tournament down there. Now, I can't remember exactly what the name of it is. It's a gentleman's name. Can't think of it. But anyway, it's at Ashdown. 3 o'clock is going to be the start time there for that first round game of that tournament. And then Friday night, back in conference action, but on the road at Bauxite. 5 o'clock, first pitch from Bauxite. And then early Saturday morning, back in Ashdown. Nothing like the smell of Ashdown in the morning. 9 o'clock. We'll be there for Arkadelphia against DeRidder, Louisiana at 9 o'clock, and then Arkadelphia finishing out with an afternoon game at 1 o'clock. So big baseball this weekend, this week and this weekend for Arkadelphia baseball. Remember, the Lady Badgers will be on the field as well, along with Arkadelphia at home tomorrow night and on the road at Ashdown on Friday. So we want to welcome everyone, Bauxite on Friday. We want to welcome everyone in. If we're playing at home, you won't be able to hear us on the air, so please get out to the ballpark, support your young athletes as they lay it all out in our brand new, newly fitted out Southern Bancorp Field there at the complex. It's been my pleasure. Once again, you've been listening to Badger Baseball. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again on Thursday afternoon from Ashdown.